Hi Bloomers, it's Wendy, and you're listening to Bloom with Flores. In today's episode, we have the incredible opportunity to sit down with a DJ whose presence is as captivating as his music. Joining us today is the most gentle, soft-spoken, and charismatic DJ I've had the privilege of being around. Not only does his personality resonate with warmth, but his music effortlessly communicates the same language of emotion and connection. Get ready to explore the magic that happens when charisma and musical mastery come together. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. We appreciate you tuning in and the love you show when you subscribe to our channel. Joey SOUNDQUEST in the house. Thank you for agreeing to join me on my podcast today. It's always exciting speaking to you about music or your upcoming events. Watching you DJ is so much fun. Your sets are always on point and always feel good vibes. So without further ado, feel free to introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for having me. My name is Joey, representing the SOUNDQUEST crew, Toronto, Canada.
So Joey, how long have you been in the DJ game for?
Ooh, good question right off the bat. I'd say 1988 to be exact.
Can you recount the moment that in your life when you experienced the power of music?
Well, that would have had to have been grade 2, or even before. My mom, I come from a home of extensive musical background, being that I'm half Trinidad and half Italian mix, raised with my mom, and my mom would do a lot of house parties and do a lot of music on a vinyl record. She would have me and my brother playing her parties for her. And that started at a very, very early age. So my love of music started at a very early age again. And it just did and stuck with us all the way up to now.
So all those house parties your family used to throw away.
Yeah, we'll get into that on another.
We were the kids on the chairs, right? Sleeping in the middle of the night.
Yeah, and I was the DJ.
So do you remember when you decided to become a DJ?
You know what? In grade 5, I opted to my teacher that I would DJ the school dance without having any hopes of ever getting that school dance, going up against grade 8 and whatnot. But I was only in grade 5. And back in the days when it was cassette and vinyl, and lo and behold, Miss Bailey, that was her name, Miss Bailey from Holy Spirit. I kind of ran out of Scarborough, so she gave me the opportunity, me and another friend of mine, the opportunity to DJ our school dance in front of everybody, and that was grade 5 actually. And lo and behold, every year after that, I was signed on to be the DJ, and that stuck with me all through high school as well.
Wow. Yeah, those school parties, I think there were either once or twice a year, but it was a big deal, right, in school.
It was a huge deal, definitely.
Yeah. So you probably get asked a lot, and you kind of referred to it when you had to move from vinyl to digital. How did this transition affect you as a DJ?
Well, first and foremost, we SOUNDQUEST come from a huge, extensive library of vinyl records, thousands and thousands in every genre possible, ranging from R&B to funk, disco, to the list goes on, reggae, soca music, everything we have accumulated. And I used to work for a record store as well, and that helped out a lot. But vinyl still is a thing that I collect because you can never have too much. And there's a lot of rarities when it comes to vinyl, sort of like sports cards when, you have a very rare piece. But when the digital world took off with MP3s, software really wasn't available at the time. So you can imagine having a record collection of 30 to 40,000 records, trying to digitize every one of those records would be time consuming. Mm-hmm. And don't forget, every vinyl record that we had, some of them were LPs, were, there's 10 to 15 songs on an album. Some of them were 12 inches, where you'd have the a cappella, the instrumental, the clean version, the dirty version, the TV track, the bonus beats. So to digitize every single thing would be so time consuming. But lo and behold, we did. And to sum it all up, when the software and the hardware became available to convert from vinyl to digital, we were one of the few crews that did it. I mean, it took years for us to do it, and we're still doing it to this day. But we've pretty much converted all of our music, so that's I'm happy to say.
Wow. Where do you store all that vinyl?
Consists of four houses actually: myself, my brother, my mom, and storage.
Wow. So, Joey,
No,
there's a,
no addresses. I'm not giving any
yeah,
addresses.
no, don't. Those are gems. So there's a picture of you on Drop the Needle documentary alongside some of the most predominant names in Canadian music. Did you know you were going to be featured?
Yeah, well, according to for the Drop the Needle documentary, big up to Rob Freeman. He initially came and contacted me, and this was 2000 and oh boy, I can't remember. It must have been like 4 years ago, almost five. When he had the vision, he explained to me what he wanted to do. He really didn't know too much about the culture and the DJs and who would be involved. And we had a sit down meeting, along with, I pulled up people from record labels that were there during the time. I pulled a lot of the DJs as well. And we had a sit down meeting where we listened to his vision. We put our 2 cents in of where he should be going with it. I mean, when he said he was doing the Play D documentary, I was automatically on board. A little bit of history about me. There was Play to Record, as we all know, and there was Trax Records. I worked at Trax Records, which was a few doors down on Yonge Street. That was 427 Yonge Street. And I established a great relationship with Eugene, even though we were considered rivals, but we were really good friends. It's business, nothing personal, and I love him to this day. And congrats to everything he's done. So yeah, I did contribute a lot to that, the music, the soundtrack of it. I contributed the pictures of all the vinyl, the mixed cassettes, all the pictures of in store. The list goes on. But yeah, I'm very proud to say that Drop the Needle is doing great.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And how long did you work at the other record label for?
At
The
the record
record
store,
store. Yeah.
I was there from beginning to end. So, oh, you're dating me now. In early 90s, all the way up from 2001, I think they closed in 2001. So,
So you were in high
uh,
school, right?
yeah, actually, I started in a co-op. Actually,
Okay. Is that
I
what you
started.
picked?
Yeah, I was the first person actually in my school to pick a record store, and lo and behold, the owner of Trax, who's a good friend of mine, George, said, "Yeah, come on board." And I'm the first person that did co-op there. He really didn't. I'll admit it now. He really didn't do any of my timesheets or my grading or anything. He made me do it, but I was honest. And after doing co-op, I was there full time after that, and case roster after that.
So with the rise of streaming platforms, people can make their own playlists now. How has that affected the landscape for DJs?
You know what? Like going from MP3, going from vinyl to MP3, pulling music no longer involves pulling crates that are 80 to 100 pounds. Back in my days, we would lift crates, and I was one of those crews that carried maybe 7 to 10 crates with, a whole heap of different guys that would come and help me. But now pulling music is very simple. It's all about having it all stored on your hard drive, which is an external, or your laptop, and knowing your music. That's key. Knowing your
Yeah.
music, knowing your genre. Um, I'm really a stickler for this. Knowing things like the producer, the bar count, uh, how the intro is, how the chorus comes in. these are all things that I take pride in knowing, and every night I continue to do so. Music is a thing that I live and breathe pretty much.
Oh, yeah, I know that about you. So this goes straight into the next question. So in the Canadian radio and club scenes, identifying the DJs by their mixes is instantaneous, right? How did you set yourself apart from them? I know you kind of
We've always
alluded to
had,
that.
yeah, yeah. Good question. We've always had a certain style to us. We were one of the DJs that would not just mix the actual song, but we would use the instrumentals from the song specifically and mix it with an a cappella from another song. The versatility of SoundQuest was really in the beginning what set us aside more above the rest, I'd like to say, because a lot of people weren't doing it. They were just playing songs back in those days. So we've stuck with it, and the style is being very aggressive. We were very aggressive. We didn't hold back. We would mix acapellas. We would do scratching. We would do making it funky inside of a club so that people would be dancing and nobody would be standing around is what really set us aside from the rest.
Hmm. So what genre do you think best represents SoundQuest?
Every. I'm not going to pick one. Every. I'll say every. I mean, I'm for myself. I mean, I'm pretty educated in every genre. I'm not specifically one thing, although people may say when we started out we were a hip hop crew, we were an everything crew, and we still are an everything crew. So, like I said, versatility is key.
And when you say crew, who's part of that crew, Joey?
Oh boy, here goes the history again. Well, first and foremost, the original SoundQuest from back in the 80s consisted of my brother, who was 4 years older, Frank Honda. My brother started the crew, and it was my brother, a guy by the name of Mike Sitchin, who we went to high school with, and another guy by the name of Jason Rosting. Now, Jason Rosting is now who you would know as Dr. J, the Soca Prince. If you're in the Soca scene or know about Carnival in Trinidad, he is a huge, reputable person amongst every single Caribbean person. So he was well known, as well as myself. So the four of us, that's who it was for the SoundQuest crew, and that was the original.
That's a list, eh? Okay, so when you prepare for a set, how much time goes into your craft? Is it like hours, days?
I don't prepare for sets actually, and that's not being that's not being boasty, but I do not prepare for sets. I let my craft really speak for itself without bragging.
Yeah.
Um, I don't prepare for it. I know the songs that I play. Like I said, I know them like the back of my hand. I know when the chorus is going to come in. I know how many bars before the vocals come in. So mixing it up with all different types of music is what I do, and I do it. So far, I've been doing it pretty well. So knock on wood.
So now with the whole cancel culture, right? DJs have had to adapt their best sets to avoid offense, right? I know you say you kind of play on the fly.
Yeah.
How has this impacted you?
Uh, you know what? I'm all for the cancel culture with I mean with the music scene, with artists that have had problems, that are having problems. I mean, I stay away from the vulgar part of music. Um, Coming from a DJ from the early 70s and 80s that I am, I we really didn't have that back in the days. And if we were playing it, there was always a clean version of it.
Mhm.
Now, I don't play things that offend other people. I'm all for that when, we shouldn't be doing that. We should be loving each other. And I think that's what music brings to people. The feeling of, music in your soul is what makes people happy. And, we need more of that in life.
Yeah, for sure. So, exploring the art of sampling for timeless hits. Certain artists have mastered this, like Dua Lipa with collaboration with Elton John. Why do you think they're so successful at this?
Sampling's been going on for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
There's not a single song that's out that pretty much hasn't had a sample from another song. I mean, it doesn't have to be a hit song, but producers and DJs, were getting vinyl and looking for a snare or a kick or even a sound to make or to put into production to make songs. So, I mean, the struggle continues. They're still doing the sampling. I give props to everybody that plays live instruments. I play drums as well. Um, because I mean that part of music is what I guess separates you from the rest, where there's no sampling. But there's always a snare or a kick that you hear from another song, and I'm pretty good, like I said, with my record collection, with the old funk classics where they sample all the music as well. There's a whole heap of different lists that James Brown, the list goes on, Skull Snap, the whole list goes on of where people get their music from their drums to their horns and their brass. So
Yeah, I'm sure you can like identify the sample right away with your
um, I'm pretty good at it.
So, what's your perspective on the emerging generation of female artists who are making significant impacts in the music scene right now?
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm very happy that the female generation, not just go for artists, that's for DJs as well. There's a whole slew of lists of female DJs that are totally crushing it in the music scene. They're doing absolutely amazing, and you know what? I wish them the best in the future as well.
Yeah. So last year, Joey, marked the 50th anniversary of hip hop. In your opinion, is there a specific MC or DJ who played an instrumental role in the growth of hip hop?
Well, the start of hip hop, I would have to give that to DJ Kool Herc of New York. Um, he was the pretty much the founder of doing DJ parties with Cedric. He was a guy from Jamaica, and he provided the huge speakers and the boombox back then. And these are the founding fathers of hip hop. The list goes down to b-boy crews and DJs, and the list goes down. But I mean, I'm all for it. 50 years, and I stand beside them always.
Yeah, yeah. So, which timeless songs do you believe will continue to resonate with future audiences?
Well, I can't pick one. Um, like I
If you
said,
had to pick.
I have a uh, huge, extensive collection. So, I mean, some of my faves. I mean, I'm a Phil Collins fan. I'm a Fleetwood
Yeah.
Mac fan. We get into hip hop. I'm a Pete Rock and Feel Smooth fan. I'm a Nas fan. Um, we get into funk. I'm a Parliament fan. James Brown. Uh, we get into dancehall. I'm a Sanchez fan. We get into soca. The list goes on. I'm not gonna. I can go for days here.
Yeah, yeah. So, in your opinion, what are some essential songs that everybody should have in their collection?
James Brown. I'll start with that. James Brown. Uh, you must have James Brown in your collection.
Hmm.
Not just the funk, but the slower. You must have a Marvin Gaye in your collection. Um, Start with the founders, and then move on from there. You'll notice when you start with the founders, a lot of you'll hear a lot of the samples that you've listened to. I mean, more in the urban market right now, and you'll pick up on it, and as well as you'll educate yourself.
Yeah. So, what are your thoughts about how far the Canadian music has come along?
The Canadian music has come a long way. It started from really not being on the map to being all over the map, and I'm all for it. Um, Back in my days, we started out with Maestro Fresh West, and now we've moved all the way up to the Weekend and Drake and the rest of them. And you know, it only gets better and better. There's a lot of hidden talent in Canada, and I think this year, a lot of it will be brought out, and you'll hear a lot more exclusives and putting more artists on the map globally.
Yeah, I agree. So, how can our listeners reach you, Joey? Where are you?
Well, you know what? The first and foremost would be to find me on IG at Joey SOUNDQUEST. That's all one word, Joey SOUNDQUEST. As well as I just started my new Patreon, Patreon. You can find me at Joey SOUNDQUEST as well. And I'm a mobile DJ, so there's no set one place that I'm at. I'm all over, and you know what? Follow me and keep in touch with my mixes. A lot of it is I've uploaded for free. For if you start following me, you'll download it and enjoy. So those are my social medias.
Thanks, Joey. I appreciate it. It wasn't so bad,
Thank you so much
right?
for having me. Not so bad at all.
Well, we'll talk soon.
Thank you so much.
Well, there you have it, Bloomers. As we conclude this episode, I want to express our gratitude to Joey for generously sharing his experiences and insights into the captivating world of DJs. His wealth of knowledge and passion for music has illuminated the intricacies of the profession, leaving us with a deeper appreciation of his artistry. We'd love to hear your stories. Feel free to share your personal journeys in the comments or via our social media channel. Your stories inspire us and help us grow together as a community of bloomers. Stay tuned for more content, and until next time, keep blooming.